Broadcast live.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, like one of the things I was thinking before you even got into before you've gotten into this transaction that you've gotten into from a business perspective, I think that and I'm saying this as a person who's known you for a while, you have one of the most inspiring stories in the industry,
Well, thank you.
And I think that for me, you almost epitomize all those things that they talk about when they say that you got to think of what you want to be and you got to live it and you got to become that, And when I think about the fact that I remember you at a club, as a salesperson at SAB,
right? Full circle, man. Full circle.
I remember as a rep at SAB, and you were promoting other alcohol products, from a global company. And here you are. One would go, what does she know about that? But people don't know that you could probably go as far as trade. You could go as sales. You know what you're in. Right?
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I was at SAP for a little bit, and I didn't know that it would come into this moment now with Boulevard, but I started at SAP as a salesperson, which was wild for me because I just hated sales, but it evolved into me going to brands. And just the fact that God was able to move me to different parts of SAP so I could learn the different things was actually a blessing now that I realized it has come into. And I was that girl who was driving the double cab van. I was the girl in trade at 12 at night. I was the girl booking artists at some point for gigs at SAV. I've done a lot of work in the alcohol business, so clearly it was meant for this moment.
It's incredible. And it's, although you say you hate sales, for me, this is the reason.
Well, I used to, but now I have gotten into it, yeah.
Pretty much, because when I look at it, that's why I say, even before we talk Boulevard, when I talk about ERA, when that spirit of just I'm just going, well, if a lot of people do it because they go, if the brand is not going to do it, then but you just felt I don't know, you just came with the ERA watches out of nowhere, you just came with the ERA glasses out of nowhere. What is this for you that literally just goes, this entrepreneurship thing, where does it come from, and why are you always on top of it?
I think, I don't know, I actually don't know, but I'll tell you that when I was at UJ, Wits Technical at the time, I remember my friends asking me, what are you going to do? I'm just yo, man, I'm here so that I can be employable, because I'm not trying to start a business. I'm not trying to take any risks in life. And graduated, went on to work for a few companies, and then I worked for SAP, like you mentioned. But when I started DJing, I just got a glimpse into a different world. And I didn't even know I was starting now this journey of entrepreneurship, even with just me being a DJ and selling a service that was owned purely by me. And just with the extra time in my hands, I thought, what am I going to do with all this time? Because now I've quit my job, and I'm only working mostly on weekends. So that's when I got into Fuse Academy, the DJ school for girls. And I think then that's when the bug caught me, and I just loved the idea of, marketing things to people. But I think also when I thought I didn't love sales, it was because I was working mostly for products that I maybe didn't necessarily believe in, So it was easier for me to market Fuse Academy. It's been easier for me to market ERA by DJ Zinhle and do sales there, and even with Boulevard, because these are products that I believe in, but products also that are authentic to who I am. And also just going back to where do you learn business? I remember I used to visit one of my aunts, and she had this puzzle shop. And as a kid, like I hated it, but they insisted that we work in the shop. And I didn't see the value of that. Years later, one of my uncles opened this puzzle shop also in the yard at home where we were growing up. And again, it was the same process of, if you want money, go work at the shop. And then you get the money you want, or if you want something, just go. But I didn't understand like all those things and what they were teaching me when I was growing up. And I was saying to a friend of mine recently, paza, but ERA by ZINHLE paza. Well, you know, this is now my version of what I learned when I was growing up. But I mean, I don't deny how big the influence was from people like South African breweries, where you just learn how to, like, you know, create ideas behind a brand and sell it to people. In, you know, it could be a beer, but what you're selling is a dream. And just like those type of manipulations in marketing used to fascinate me. And that's where it comes from, really. It really caught me because I had no idea what I was going to do, you know. But I was just I was just lucky enough, you know, for these things to find me.
I mean, one of the things, you know, about you that I also respect is you know, you also, you know, you're not Zinhle Jiyane with the Corolla, you know. Zinhle Jiyane with the Corolla. I was about to say the one that owes me a sweater, but DJ Zinhle can pay. Right? Can buy me 100 sweaters now. But like, you're not that Zinhle Jiyane, and I feel also you've got this thick skin, you know, because you are DJ Zinhle, you know what I mean? It's like, I literally need to go, even though I think I know you, I'm like, I always need to think twice and go, yeah, but she is DJ Zinhle. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
I get what you mean, because I think also we come from, as artists, we just come from the business of being very emotional about how we conduct our business, and how, like, also just like that, even how we trade amongst each other is very emotionally charged, and like favor and this and that. And the minute you just like try and put the formal structure on it, people start panicking with okay, you know. And for me, that was very important from the start, to just make people understand that I understand the value of how we trade as artists, or how we trade with promoters, but also there needs to be formal structures in how I manage the DJs in the brand. So as much as I'm an artist, but like I'm a business, you know. And I think that is what then sometimes is unsettling for people, because our business is super emotional, you know. We want to be able to say, yo, man, I've got this happening, just come through 2 minutes, whatever. And I'm just like, no. It's more than that. It's, you know, it's way more than that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just think that is what it is, really. And it was very important for me to solidify just my structures around how I operate when it comes to the ERA by DJ Zinhle brand, in terms of, especially because as a female in the industry, you know, you want to make people understand that I actually have a creative product as an artist, but that product has a very strong vehicle of like the understanding of what we're doing as a business. So whenever we trade with this creative product, we are trading in the most professional way possible.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's actually, you pretty much answered my question before I asked it. But what I was going to say is that you being that brand, it also comes with the BS of the industry. You know what I mean? You're not like if Zinhle falls on the stairs today, there'll be a meme. You know what I mean? If Zinhle,
for sure.
You know, if Zinhle drops our partners now, and you drop anything, there'll be celebration. For me, it's almost like I'll speak for my space. The only way for me to stay focused, I had to kind of get out the industry. You know what I mean? It's like you've been able to stay inside and stay focused. And I always ask myself that, like, I mean, there's so much that's popped up about you in your personal life, but how do you kind of always bring it back together and say, yo, I am the prize, you know?
Yeah,
and I'm asking this, sorry, not only because it's a male question, but or you're a strong female. You literally doing things that, like, it's beyond male or female. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the best way for me to explain is to explain this is, even though we have, it's different when I'm selling Boulevard than when I'm selling the DJ Zinhle brand, because the DJ Zinhle brand still has human elements, like it can make mistakes. It's a human, like it's in a human form, and that's how people relate to it. That's why people can connect to it. And I think that best thing that has worked for me with just taking care of that personal part of the DJ Zinhle brand is just being honest as much as I can about my life. I'm not the super secretive. I'm trying to hide everything from you guys. I'm literally just trying to live my life like the best way I can. But unfortunately, there's just a gray area between Ntombezinhle Jiyane and DJ Zinhle. And I realized at some point in my life when I was going through the utmost, like publicly in terms of my personal life, that actually people buy into the DJ Zinhle brand because they feel like they can relate to it. So if I'm feeling weak at this moment right now, and whatever is happening is making me feel weak, I can't now get out there and act like I'm tough, because that's not the truth. That's not the honest part of being DJ Zinhle. If I'm struggling, let it be known that I'm suffering, man, because there are other people who can relate to the struggle, so that when I overcome the struggle at some point in my life, then someone can say, Zinhle was going through this at some point, and she was able to overcome it. And also, the thing is, sometimes then we struggle with, but then what does it mean for what people see me, like how people see me, like what does it mean for me personally? I understand my position in the industry, like, or in just being a celebrity, and how I cannot be obsessively like in control of my life. I don't have the control. The best thing I can do is just be honest about it. If there are mistakes, we're going to correct it, because that is what a human being is. We are selling a creative product, but unfortunately it's run in the form of a human being. So things will happen. And just for me, like I said, the best way for me to handle these things is to be as honest as possible. And the thing is, even with honesty, some people misinterpret the story, or they misunderstand the story. And that's when then my marketing head comes in, or my branding head comes in, when I'm just like, okay, I get that there's been a struggle, and this is the narrative in like maybe around the DJ Zinhle brand now. How do I bring things back to what the brand is about? How do I take the same struggle, or the same challenge, or the same conversation that's happening, and bring it back to what I'm doing, maybe either musically, or in terms of the brand, or in terms of Boulevard. I always find a way. Like I'm ahead of the game all the time. You could be trolling me about something, and I'm thinking, I could use this for Boulevard. You could be trolling me about something else, and I'm like, I could use this for ERA by DJ Zinhle. So I'm always like, I've got my ear on the ground. Like, I work on the DJ Zinhle brand, and I've got a team of people who know how to, like, who understand the values of the brand, and who are just always ready to just like, okay, how do we use this challenge to like create an opportunity for the brand?
So, I mean, the real thing about it is that, like, remove emotion. You say that, like, you literally, like, obviously Ntombezinhle Jiyane is a human being, but when we look at DJ Zinhle, we remove emotion. When we look at Boulevard, when we look at ERA.
Yeah, I mean, the emotion is when you are being honest about what you're going through, but the emotion is when you can't control how people feel about me. You know what I mean? I can't control how you react to what I'm going through as someone who's like looking at me from a public space. I can only give you my honest story, and how you interpret it is totally up to you. That's when I remove the emotion.
Tell me, I mean, I'm very interested in how did you make the choice of acquiring your shares, or like with Boulevard? What options were there? How did you wake up one day and go, I understand putting money into my own thing. Maybe the risk of just investing in one thing. I need to diversify my investments. I know you're also in property, you're in a couple of things. And all those things, even when you get into property, it's still your things. But for you to diversify and acquire something that literally is obviously an inheritance from somewhere else, how did you make that choice? And did you have any other options? And if you ended up with Boulevard, why was it Boulevard?
So the one thing about just being in business for as long as I've been, in the way that I've been in business, like especially with ERA by DJ Zinhle and Fuse Academy, it's always been me drive on the driver's seat. I'm the one who's driving ERA by DJ Zinhle. You know me, I'm the one doing the website for ERA by DJ Zinhle. I'm doing everything, but just understanding my limitations in terms of, growing business when it's run in that way. It was the first thing that led me to thinking that I need to start getting into business with other people that have more experience in things that I'm maybe interested in. I mean, I met the guys from Boulevard when they did their bar for me at my furniture launch. And I just remember seeing this brand and thinking, wow, I love this packaging. I mean, I remember the lady walked in with balloons, black balloons with the pink Boulevard, and the bar looked so dope. And I just, as someone who's interested in brands and branding, I thought, wow, this is so dope. And I mean, they were just meant to really just come and sponsor the event. But we then, I really got interested in the brand, and I thought we need to do something else with the brand. We started conversations, and the conversations evolved, man. I mean, way bigger and way faster than I thought they could ever, evolve. And also just with everything that I had learned as Zinhle, running all these other small businesses, if I can call them that, I feel like that accumulated to this moment of just like, now you have to negotiate a big deal. And you just have to like wear your big girl pants and act like you know what's going on. Sometimes you might not know, but go out and say, I need to take a break, guys. I'm coming back. Do some research, call people and come back and say, yeah, on that point, what are we doing? So, I mean, even for my team, it was a major challenge to, negotiate this deal and make sure that we got out of it what we wanted. Because at some point when we saw how seriously the team from Boulevard was taking us, we then realized that actually we have something great to offer this brand, And I mean, like I said, like it was just like it was out of reach for us. But then we realized that no, actually, all these years of work have just come together to give us this moment, and we just had to step it up. There are times when I was in a meeting with one of my partners, and he'd say, "What are we doing here? Like, why are we in this meeting? Like, what are we hoping to achieve?" But eventually, we just understood that there was something that we could, there was something for us in this whole thing, and like we had to make it work. Sometimes the process would stop for a month or a week, and then you just feel discouraged, and then we'll start again. It went on for a long time, but when it eventually happened, we just felt like, okay, that was tough, but now the real work starts.
How long is long?
Long, I think it was a year and a half of just like back and forth, traveling to Cape Town, like canceled meetings, confirmed meetings, like long meetings, like hectic meetings where you're just like, okay, I hope today they're not going to ask me about big like numbers and big like quantify this for us, or like we're just like, guys, I know what I can do for this brand. Let's go. But it wasn't that easy.
Did they know your background though, from a beverage or an FMCG perspective? That
not in that. No.
It's you only have a role. You also have a role, right?
Yeah, I have a role, but I don't think they necessarily knew about my background. But I also, like in this negotiation with Boulevard, also just started realizing how smart I was and how much I knew about like branding and marketing, and also then just like thinking, oh, actually, I've been in this alcohol beverage like situation, so I know what I'm talking about, and just gaining that confidence from remembering, which no, guys, I know what we're talking about. So when I realized that I was smart and I knew what I was doing, they also just thought, wow, this girl actually, like, she knows what, and we did a lot of research. We didn't go there unprepared. Like, we always made sure we were prepared, we were ready for these meetings, and we just like thought, okay, if there's a question we're not prepared for, like God must just take us through, and our experience must take us through it. But I mean, I've had a lot of back and forth and a lot of learning about business, especially through ERA by DJ Zinhle. And I think this is why ERA is such a blessing to me, because it was something that I started on my own, that I could make mistakes. I could make a lot of mistakes with. And I just had a lot of like big lessons from it, like a big falls from that business, and just learning and then trying again. And then also just trying to grow this business every time taught me a new level of business. And by the time we got to Boulevard, I feel like to a certain level, I was ready.
Yeah. Man, yeah. I'm so happy. You know, while you're talking, I always ask myself, I mean, why were we friends, you know? Or what did I like about you? And because, you know, I was super famous. I never had to like you, you know?
Yeah, but we also used to have long conversations. Yeah, like, jeez. That's why maybe we don't talk anymore, because we spoke about everything. Then exhausted all our talks.
You know?
Yeah, you had an office in
Parktown North at one.
Yeah.
But you know, I remember though, it's just like just you were kind. You know what I mean? You were kind. You were really nice, and you were always genuine. You know,
But I was a kid too, though, right? I was just like trying to DJ. Just ignorant.
We were all kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
We were all kids. You know, I never even knew you were trying to DJ. You know, like
right.
I never knew you were serious about it. But like, but I think about it, and when I look at where you are, like, you know, you, as much as I could never fault you for your acumen, your business acumen, because deep down I know that you're a super kind person, and I think people receive a genuine person all the time, you know, when they're sitting around you, you know, and I think, you know, at the time, that's why, like, you and I just became friends. It wasn't like, yo, this is what you do. We just became friends, and it just happened. And I'm so happy to see you coming this way. And once again, that's right. You changed your whole image. You changed your whole look. You know, there's so much mind to what you've built, and I want to. Someone is going to come back and go, yeah, you know, Zinhle Boulevard, because you had the money, you had this. But when I look at you, I look at a person that changed their whole minds with regards to how.
Right? Because you know me from tomboy days, no makeup, like that weird hair from German Jiga. Yeah. There's a whole evolution.
You changed your whole behavior.
Yeah.
And I think that's what got you to where you are. And I think that with every opportunity, when you did ERA, when you did like the Fuse Academy, like you literally changed your behavior, but you never stopped. You were consistent, you know. It's like now I've never seen you defaulting with tomboy by mistake. You've literally like maintained, you know, the look, you know, and maybe you're tomboying at home, but who knows? But the point is that like there's mind and there's consistency. And what I really want to get out, especially for the girls, even for the guys, because you way ahead for a lot of us in the industry, you know. I wanna like make people not feel that you just have to have money to get there.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think what I realized very early was that I needed to separate one DJ Zinhle from Ntombezinhle, you know, in the sense that when I like really thought I needed to create a brand, like the DJ Zinhle brand, I had just come from SAB and working on brands. How do you create a story for a brand? How do you market the story? How do you market an emotion behind a brand so that people can buy into it? So very early in my career, I started doing research about what does the DJ Zinhle brand represent? You know, who am I talking to and what is my story? You know, I mean, I stole all the notes from SAB. I had all the presentations and I started changing them. But I always tell people that even my businesses now, a lot of them are built based on the research that I did on Google. You know, it's not like I had to pay people to come up with strategies for me, which this is what the DJ Zinhle brand would be. It's just research that I did. People have access to phones, you know, they'll sit on social media, but maybe sometimes as a young upcoming artist, you need to use the time to maybe research or even benchmark. I like Drake. What do I like about Drake? I like these elements from Drake. Let me benchmark this. I like Muesli. What do I like about Muesli? I like her style. Let me benchmark Muesli style and create my brand. And when you're able to separate Slicker from Sia, you're able to then work for Slicker and understand that this is the brand and this is what it requires to build it. And I remember very early I needed pictures for, you know, like just to profile myself. I needed to change my image. I mean, even now it's a thing, you know, especially with social media. It's a big thing, you know, but I don't necessarily have the cash to pay for someone to take pictures of me or someone to do my makeup for this shoot or for someone to do whatever I need to do to create this brand. But I didn't realize I have a talent and my talent is DJing. And that's the only skill that I can trade with right now. That's the capital I have. So I'd call a friend and say, listen, you take pictures, I'm a DJ. Please take pictures of me. And whenever you need a DJ, I'll come and play, for free. But also in that way, I was promoting my brand, and I was still getting like what I needed. So with anyone, if I need makeup, I can trade with a makeup artist. And it's something that we still do now to say, yo, man, makeup artist, I don't have money to pay you, but I have social media. I can post your stuff. So it's sometimes when people think about capital that they need to invest in their business, because now we've defined your brand as a business, they think of money. But time is capital you invest in your business. Research is time. It's capital you invest in your business. Like trading with your skill is, so money is not the only thing you can invest in your business, because there are a lot of brands that have money, but they just don't know how to use the money to activate the brand. And the important thing also for me as a young artist was to work on these things myself so that I can develop and understand the brand for myself before I can bring other people into the team. Because I could have hired someone else to come and manage my brand, but if I don't have the understanding of my brand as a startup, like as a kid who's starting out, someone could come and redefine it for me and give me a different value that I can't even buy into. Now I'm frustrated. I'm stuck with this thing. This person has created this brand with this image that I don't understand. And it's also, especially because we live in this industry of people are getting robbed. People are, I don't know, people are just not getting value for things. Managers are taking deals and doing whatever. I feel like before you can employ anyone, especially as a creative, you need to know their job. So if I'm going to get someone to come and manage me, I need to know what that job entails. So maybe you need to manage yourself for a little bit, So by the time you get someone who comes and does your social media, if you need someone to come and do your social media, you need to do the social media yourself. I still design my own websites. ERA by DJ Zinhle website is designed by me, all my websites, because I haven't found someone who can do it as best as I can. Did I know how to design websites? No. Does Google know how to design websites? Definitely. Do I have access to Google? Yep. So it's just, unfortunately, our business structure for our industry is not well structured. So a lot of things we have to figure out for ourselves, before we can even, go out to brands or just sign with bigger brands. And again, like back to your point, it's really not about having cash. Capital could be a lot of things. And I think we just need to invest in, finding different ways to grow our brands.
Yo, Zin, I'm happy for you. Shout out Boulevard. Oh, you got your own variant right now. You're MD, right? You're MD for Boulevard generally, not just on your own.
I'm what? CEO or what? Or what?
Oh, my bad.
Listen, let me tell you, the job of being the CEO of Boulevard is so hard that whenever I can use it to floss, I need to use it. Like, it's nice in the industry to say, yo, CEO of Boulevard, but there's real work. So whenever I can just use it to floss, let me just do it. Don't call me like the managing director and I'm the CEO.
Listen, my bad. Yo, CEO, congratulations.
Thank you.
Life. I mean, your daughter's got such a great example to look up to. Amazing.
Thank you.
To look up to, and you. I think you need to tell your story about that little girl who is trying to find herself more often. The tomboy girl, and I mean, I know people have got memes like before, after, but they don't have the context. They don't know.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
There, because if people look into that story and then they also look at what's happening, if in public, like something pops up that's like negative or whatever the case be, and like you still like this, and you look at other male, females, how they break apart and they literally lose themselves. Not to say that you don't go through things. But you're an example. And I want to close with this saying, for me, about you.
Thank you so much.
People mustn't get lost with the pretty face and the hair, but you're doing it. You're doing it.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Conversations. Yo, DJ, make sure you get the Boulevard. Please CEO. Please tell me like the name of the new bottle, the version. It's available on.
It's luxury Nectar. It's the luxe version. Okay. No, let me tell you a little bit why I wanted this version. So that now it's the white bottle, and you know me, as a black kid, I've been to weddings all my life, and you know I've got a thing with decor. Like I love like beautiful spaces, and I think I've just always been bothered by how they'll just pop this bottle that looks nothing like the decor at the wedding. And I'm not saying this bottle is just for the weddings. I'm just saying the wedding was where it started for me, right? Yeah. So that's why I wanted this pure white bottle so that, you know, when you have a wedding, it blends into your wedding. But obviously, I mean, we are all about celebrations, but this was a little dream that I had, you know? So yeah.
Wow.
Please go get it.
I love that strategic. You see, like, you know, in marketing, that's like insight. That's strategic planning with insight. You know, it's not right. You know what? Planning with insight. You know, it's understanding marketing.
Yeah.
Insight. Why? That's great. That's amazing. Go get that bottle. And I'm going to give you a shout though later on during the year. You know, I think to talk about everything that you're doing. I think there's something nice that I'd like us to do, but I'll share with you. It's going to be powerful though.
Cool. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You know, I'm not developing my own site, but like, you know, but you know, the power of a website. So you won't see what I'm about to do online, and it's going to be powerful. So I'll definitely hit you up, you know, once we're ready.
Cool. Thank you, man. God bless. Thank you, Sticker.
Much love and good luck.
I don't know if it's Sticker or Sia these days, but whatever it is, man.
Yo.
Keep it going.
You want to call me. You know what I mean? Thanks, my girl. Take care. Do your thing. We're looking, we're applauding. And whenever we see back, for me personally, when I see stuff that's not great, my heart literally breaks a bit for you, but I'm still fine. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I'm always good. Yeah. It's life.
You know, you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
Power.
Cool.
Nice.
Broadcast live